Hey everybody, Eric Nathy with MountModernLife.com. If you're looking for an easy way to update your refrigerator in your RV, we hope this video will help give you some inspiration along the way. Now for us, when we originally got the RV, we actually had the wood paneling here in our fridge, which didn't look bad at all. But as we went through the renovation progress and we were making a lot of different changes to the RV, it just didn't quite fit in. And also we were moving into a tiny space, so we wanted to make sure that we were able to get the most functionality out of all the spaces that we could. So we started looking into it and considering different options for how we would replace the paneling on our refrigerator. And at first we had considered a chalkboard, but then we wanted to do something a little bit different. So we looked around and we found sheet metal. Now for us, sheet metal is obviously the direction we decided to go, but before we get into the functionality of it, we did want to touch base real quick on the difficulties with getting it in there. Now when I say difficulties, I don't mean that it was extremely hard or anything like that, but it did take a little bit of time and some maneuvering. And that could be mainly because our refrigerator is located in our slide out, and because I'd imagine if we weren't in the slide out, it'd be a lot easier. Main reason being is because in order to get the sheet metal in there, we needed to remove the wood panels that were in there before. And for the top, it was extremely easy, because if you look at your refrigerator, you can see there's a piece of black trim here and here. Both of those pieces of trim easily pop out. So for the top, we just opened the door, popped out the bottom trim, and slid the wood paneling out. Easy peasy. Now for the bottom, we obviously couldn't slide it out through the bottom because the floor is there, so we tried to slide it out through the top. And we'd get probably about 85 to 90% of the panel out before it would run into the top of our slide out up here. So then what we had to do is figure out how to get the doors off. Now, if you've tried to remove the doors from your refrigerator in your RV before, you probably realize that it's kind of difficult. And that's because they have a top bolt and then a nut underneath, and then also 2 nuts in the middle and 2 on the bottom. Now the reason it's difficult is because you have to spin them all different directions depending on which one you're trying to remove. So if you are trying to get your doors off and you run into difficulties, just stick with it, stay persistent, and you'll figure out which way each one needs to be turned. Or ask some questions in the comments and I can give you a little more information. But anyway, we took the doors off, got the panels out, and then went to the store and picked up our sheet metal. And then once we got back to the RV, we measured out and cut the sheet metal to fit, and then slid them right down in front of the paneling on the door. Now all of a sudden we have our sheet metal in here, and it looks much more modern and kind of fits the rest of our design as well, but it's also multifunctional. So we can use it as a dry erase board, which is pretty awesome, and it does erase fairly easily. We normally use our hands or a paper towel with a little bit of water on it. Now once in a while, if you leave something up there for quite a while, you may notice that you have the ghost writing kind of still there in the background. So if you want to really scrub that and try to get that off, try some alcohol or some peroxide with a paper towel, and that'll generally get it off of there. Now another advantage to using sheet metal over a chalkboard is that it's also magnetized, so you're able to stick things up there. We also keep our markers up here and a timer for our kitchen, which has been extremely helpful. But overall, we're extremely excited with the way that our sheet metal fridge turned out, and we think that we're going to get a lot of use out of it as we move forward here and living in our RV. But if you guys have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to leave them below. And also here in the bottom in the description, I'm going to include a link that'll jump over to our website, and that'll give you more information on exactly how we remove this and kind of our approach going through the process. But anyway, thank you much for stopping by for our video today, and we'll see you guys again soon.